What's up, y'all? Thank you for checking out the Hospitality Strategy Lab. My name is Jason Littrell, and today I want to talk about something that is a big part of my business, which is events. And I worked this event all last week building a draft system, and I think that there is a place in the world for us to start thinking about what happens at events and the massive amount of experiences, like positive experiences that we can generate, and also the massive amounts of trash that we generate. And so I was thinking, like, I was kind of merging my events business with my software business, and I was like, wait a second, there's got to be a better way to do this. And I figured out a way that I'm calling event flow, which is like the before and after event experience. And this is designed to help drive personalized experiences, but also fill the gap between the getting people to come to your event, and then getting them into the event, and then also asking them and then getting information about them so they can share the event with other people after the event. So if you're spending all this time, energy, and effort into getting people to your events and making them worth as much as possible, then this is for you, because a lot of times what happens is people just go to an event and then they immediately forget about it. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to create a before and after event experience. So a lot of times people to get people to register an RSVP for an event, they either spend money on ads, or they do like an email blast, or they have like an existing audience on social media, or sometimes they're just out on the street handing out flyers, which is totally fine. But I would like to register people for events and say, great, here's your event registration, and here's why you're showing up. So there's like the whole cycle of an event is like there's hopefully as much possible as time before an event, where you're saying, here's the event concept, here's the reason why you should show up, and then here's what you get for showing up. And then there's the during event experience, where we spend most of our time and consideration and thought into developing that relationship. But almost none of us spend any time thinking about after the event, like what kind of stuff do we do after the event. And so if we mix a lot of the available software and technology products available with us, then there's a really kind of plausible and effective solution that I would like to suggest here. So we want to talk about the complete guest journey. So there's before, during, and after. Before is a branded registration, not Eventbrite. I don't know why people use paperless post and Eventbrite. It's just like you're becoming their customer. They're not becoming the people that show up to the RSVP are not your customers. They're their customers. And so I want to talk about smart scheduling, like where you have this granular scheduling where you say, like, we're going to expect you at 12:15. 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2:45, whatever the number is. And we're going to nurture people into that time, saying, hey, we are reserving a spot for you. It kind of premiumizes the time for you. So if it's a linear experience where people are supposed to walk through, experience it, and walk out, then this is a great way to do it. But also, even if it's just like, if you're bundling people together and getting them to introduce each other, this is a great way to get people to show up at the same time, and segment them with micro segments so that they can have individual experiences. So during the event is where we have profile-based experiences. This is about operational precision, creating strategic buzz that we can actually kind of prime people up to make sure that they are talking to each other and with the things that you want them to talk about. And then afterwards, where we talk about feedback, user-generated content, also known as UGC, and even doing things like a viral giveaway that helps extend the experience a lot longer. Now, so I've broken up this deck into different phases, and so we want to talk about a branded registration hub. Again, I don't know why people use Eventbrite. We can just use, like, you can have your own branded domain, branded emails, and all this other stuff. And then also scheduling. I think that scheduling is so important. It just kind of premiumizes the experience. I just worked this event last week, and there are hundreds of people in line at any time, at any given time, and they're all just waiting, and that's fine. I mean, there's a place in the world for that. I'm saying that just because you're scheduling doesn't mean that there's not a line out front. And then you can allow a certain number of people per block, and then you can anticipate that. But the pre-event nurture is where we are sending messaging over time, saying that this is what you can expect, this is what you can anticipate from this event, and then give them social prompts so that we are training them and guiding them on the actions that we would like them to take to promote the event. It creates this kind of flywheel. And so we want to create this kind of personalization where they're getting the experience that is tailored to them. We're calling them by name. We're using the preferences that they've already given us to explain to them what the experience that they can expect, and then how to promote this on social media, right? So that just creates this flywheel effect. Then during the event, we want to give them profile-based experiences where we give them a certain colored wristband, or they give them some sort of a marker, like a name tag or a badge that says that you're in group A, B, C, D, where you're in the blue group, the green group, the yellow group. And then what that does is that signals the people working the event that this is the kind of experience that they're into. And so you say, and then you give them a script saying, hey, listen, like looks like you're green, looks like you're a spring person. Here's your spring cocktail. It's your mint, your hibiscus mint tea thing, whatever it is. And then that tells us exactly how many servings of that to make. And then so we put in a little bit of buffer, maybe 10, 15%. And then we know exactly what to order, exactly how much to make, so that there's like zero waste to these events. And the people are just like, this was an event that was tailored for me. And then also it creates this buzz. So people have this like heightened feeling of like having had a great event. So this is like some really cool stuff. And then so what we're doing is we're reducing the number of product samples that are actually used. We're only ordering the stuff that we're using, and there's an exponential effect here. So like, let's say that you're expecting 5,000 people, but you're like, okay, well, we're not sure what everybody's going to have, so we're going to order 7,000 cups, and then 7,000 cups turns into things that have to be moved around 4 times. They have to be ordered, they have to be designed, they have to be shipped. They have to be moved within the event, downstairs or upstairs for storage, and then they have to be moved to be prepped for use. If you multiply that times every ingredient that you're going to use for an event, then you are creating an enormous amount of waste. And also, especially if this stuff is only used once, which I've seen many, many times in experiential events, then you're talking about an exponential amount of waste here. And this is not just a dollar cost. This is a landfill cost. And this is just like you have to pay people to haul this stuff away. You have to pay people to throw it away. You have to pay people to strike it. So, it's just, if you're ordering more leanly based on what people actually get and what they actually want, it's just exponentially more expensive. And then after the event, for some reason, we just don't do anything, which is very surprising to me. So we want to extend the event as much as possible by asking for feedback. We say like, hey, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely would you be to go to one of our events again? Would you be willing to buy our product? Like, is this something that you really liked? And then cool, do you want to tell your story? And then, so we have this, I use a UGC engine called Video Peel that actually prompts people to record a video. And so they opt into your marketing, and then they say like, I want to record a video, and then they record their video on their phone. It's all very seamless. And then that video content can go onto your Instagram, your TikTok, of people talking about your event. And so like, do you want to be invited to the next event? Here's our registration. Here's our waiting list for the next event that we have. And so that creates this crazy UGC amplification. And then we also build this like viral mechanic, into a giveaway system where all the people that registered and attended to the past event, plus all the people that have ever been on your waiting list, they all get invited to this viral giveaway. Which gives them more entries the more times that they do the things that we want them to do, which is like, follow, subscribe, share, that kind of stuff. It's all like, it's like this flywheel effect. And so what we're doing is we're measuring and reporting every touch point, from the point of like being aware of the event, to registering, to RSVPing, to showing up, to doing the things we ask them after the event, from registering for the giveaway to submitting via UGC. And then all this stuff is tracked so that you can see exactly what people did, and then we can treat people differently based on what they have or haven't done. So this is called a pipeline, this is here, the technology readily available. So here's a little bit of data on the impact, but just zooming out to the big picture here. So traditional activations are one-day impressions that quickly fade. There's like very little data collection on not only the people, but also what their impression of the experience was. There's extremely limited social amplification. There's so much waste and operational inefficiency. It just drives me insane. And this is where, like, I believe that, just implementing a pretty basic before and after sequence would dramatically increase the value of any experience. And it's so difficult to measure if you're doing this like with like spreadsheets. So we automate the ever loving shit out of all this. And so like the framework approach of what I'm suggesting is that we extend the engagement window into weeks, not hours. We provide rich audience insights and segmentation by giving them the opportunity to do this themselves, and we structure user generated content and social sharing. And this gives you data driven resource optimization, where you can actually be like, this is what people like, this is what we should do next time, and this is how people behave with our emails, text messages, WhatsApps, or whatever it is. And then we give you comprehensive performance metrics based on each stage of the journey. So this is it's not just better metrics. It's like a fundamental shift in how on how events contribute to marketing ecosystems and customer relationships. And to me, it just seems like such a no-brainer. I don't know why we're not doing it already. This is why I'm suggesting that we need to change the way we think about events, and software is the way. And this is about giving people more of what they want. So that's all I got for you today. My name is Jason Littrell from the Hospitality Strategy Lab. I hope you're doing well. Talk to you soon. Bye.